Hey everyone, it's Lockhart QT and welcome to the video today on Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, where I'm going to be breaking down everything we know so far regarding the wonder weapons, perks, abilities, pack-a-punch and enemies. So let's get right into it. So starting off with returning wonder weapons. Obviously we have the ray gun. It's a classic, it's in every map, every mode, and obviously the ray gun is going to be returning in MW3 Zombies. The ray gun is going to be accessible by getting the mystery box out of weapon drops and sort of chests around the map, as well as a special ray gun schematic that if you exfil with, you can actually save it for your next game. Do you remember in DMZ the fact that you could like save weapons for your next game? Well, you're able to do that with wonder weapons now. Next up is the Wunderwaffe DG2, the classic, the OG from Darius, and as well as other maps like Shino Numa, is returning for MW3 Zombies, and like the ray gun you can get out the mystery box as well as a special rewarded for doing tasks around the map essentially. And finally, a brand new wonder weapon called the Scorcher. The Scorcher is kind of like the, I guess like the L2 ability from the flamethrower from Black Ops 4 mixed in with the paralyzer from Buried, because it essentially fires a massive blast that can shoot zombies, as well as being really cool in the fact that like the paralyzer, it can be used for traversal. So the Scorcher, you can actually sort of aim it at the floor, shoot the floor, and it will blast you up into the air, meaning that you can get on top of skyscrapers essentially and get around the map a lot quicker and easier. Next up, we're talking about perks. Now, to keep this dead short and simple, all perks from Cold War are returning with slight tweaks and changes. So obviously you've got Juggernog for extra health, you've got Quick Revive for your reviving your teammates a bit quicker as well as health regen, you've got Depth Perception for being able to see zombies through walls as well as having an indicator where they're coming behind you, Speed Cola for faster reloads and wall barriers, repairs and whatnot, as well as something really cool, PhD Flopper is returning, as well as PhD Slider, because in Modern Warfare 3 not only can you dolphin dive but you can slide, meaning that Treyarch have actually brought back PhD Flopper rather than being PhD Slider. This will be the first Zombies map where PhD Flopper has been named PhD Flopper since Origins in Black Ops 2, which is even mental to say. Also, take a shot for every time I just said PhD Flopper. We also have Stamina Up, basically giving you, unlimited sprint. Elemental Pop for every time you kill a zombie, have a random chance of triggering an element such as fire, electricity, brain rot, etc. Tombstone, every time you die you'll drop a little tombstone on the floor and you can go pick it up and get your gear back. Deadshot Daiquiri for increased headshot damage, but however there is one perk missing here, being Mule Kick. Sadly, as of writing this video, Mule Kick is not returning in MW3 Zombies. I imagine it will return at some point, but again we'll have to wait and see. Next up are operator abilities. Now these were used in Cold War to essentially give you little, I guess, extra perk abilities sort of thing, where you'd trigger it and it would do something like, for example, Ether Shroud would protect you from the zombies. However, all abilities from Cold War are actually returning except for Toxic Growth and Ring of Fire. Toxic Growth because I imagine in Cold War it actually did cause quite a few bugs for the developers, especially on maps like D Machina. It caused loads of like high round glitches, so I imagine they've got rid of it for that reason, as well as Ring of Fire was just completely OP. However, YouTubers have said when they actually went to go to COD Next and Treyarch to play zombies, apparently Treyarch did mention that they are looking at bringing Ring of Fire back in MW3 Zombies. So again, we'll have to wait and see. Next up is Pack-a-Punch. Now we know Pack-a-Punch is returning and we've actually had a look at all three of the camos from the gameplay footage shown off from COD Next, and we know that Pack-a-Punch will return with tiers 1, 2 and 3, with the element ammo types also returning from Cold War. All of them are returning, with even a brand new one called Shadow Vortex. However, as of writing this video, we don't actually know what it does. Next up, in terms of grenades, we know the monkey bombs are returning, standard things like frag grenades, semtex, claymores, etc., throwing knives, that sort of thing. But we also know that the Casimir grenades are also returning, which are essentially little Gersh device grenades. And lastly, enemy types. Now obviously you have the standard zombies, you have crawlers, hellhounds all returning, but because this is essentially DMZ, you'll have AI soldiers and warlords specifically ported from DMZ. So unfortunately, in my opinion, we should never have AI soldiers shooting at you in zombies. You should never have enemies that are straight up shooting at you, because it doesn't mesh well with how zombies works in terms of health mechanics. And it's been done in Exo Zombies, it's been done in Vanguard, and it's just never worked. So again, we're going to have to wait and see how this actually works inside of zombies. But we also have disciples, mimics, manglers, soldats, as well as abominations returning, but specifically these are mega abominations. These are bigger, sort of wider abominations that will actually not only try and kill you like regular abominations do, but they will also shoot crawlers into buildings as well as gas, because they're obviously too big to fit into buildings. So what they do is they essentially shoot crawlers and send them they basically send crawlers from their stomach into buildings to essentially get you out of buildings. It's actually an incentive to get you out of that building to fight it, which I think is a really cool sort of AI enemy mechanic. And lastly, we don't actually have a name for it as of writing this video, but we have the giant worm boss. So essentially this has been teased as a giant boss that the entire server will have to kill. So obviously you'll be in teams of 6 and there'll be 24 people in this server, meaning that according to Treyarch you'll need all 24 people to team up together to fight this boss, which is a really cool thing in my opinion. Anyway everyone, that's everything that we've learned from the sort of MW3 Zombies gameplay, as well as information provided by YouTubers who went to the event, as Treyarch themselves. So tell me in the comments below, are you excited for MW3 Zombies, and how do you think it's going to change up the Zombies formula? Thank you so much for watching, and for more Call of Duty content don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!